Welcome back to ETV. Hey, this weekend at the theaters, you have your choice of checking out either a glitzy romance or a raunchy comedy. Which one should you see? Sean McBride, the movie guy, will fill you in.
It only happens once a year, New Year's Eve.
All these people have come from all over the world tonight just to be here.
Hollywood scored big in 2010 with the movie Valentine's Day, so hoping for a repeat success, we get another big-budget holiday-themed romantic comedy featuring a ton of A-list actors. This time it's called New Year's Eve, and it features the stories of a bunch of good-looking 30-somethings all looking for love and redemption and second chances on the last night of the year.
Because that's what New Year's is all about.
That and a good party.
Have you started looking for a job yet? What about babysitting?
Adult men don't babysit things.
You're wonderful with children.
This week's R-rated raunchy comedy is The Sitter, in which Jonah Hill plays the world's worst babysitter who's put in charge of 3 bratty kids, and together they go off on an ill-advised, drug-fueled adventure into the New York City nightlife.
My real babysitter, Nancy, she does what I want her to do.
I'm not a real babysitter. I'm more of a sit on the couch, do whatever I say or I'll kill you type of babysitter. Ah! Hey, you sprayed perfume in my mouth.
I hate you.
Basically, the thinking is that if you're tired of all the saccharine holiday comedies now playing, then you might enjoy the darker humor found in The Sitter.
Kids, fasten your seatbelt.
And that's what's new at the movies this week. I'm Sean McBride, the movie guy, for ETV.
And joining us now, Sean McBride, the movie guy, to tell us about the holiday movies.
Yeah, but the holiday is New Year's Eve. Look, there aren't any romantic comedies coming up anytime soon, so you can expect New Year's Eve to stick around all throughout the holidays, only if, it's a girls' night out option or something. It's got a great cast, though. Jessica Biel, Josh Duhamel, Ashton Kutcher, Halle Berry, John Bon Jovi, Lea Michele, Robert De Niro, so you can expect the star power to brighten up this otherwise average romantic comedy. Now, The Sitter would be the boys' night out option. This is from the guy who did the Pineapple Express, and it's another story of a lovable loser who gets caught up in an adventure because of some drugs. The difference this time out is that we have 3 bratty kids tagging along for the ride, but they don't really make the film any more enjoyable, and they certainly don't add any humor to the mix. Now, we do have a better film opening over at the Flicks. Actually, we have 2 films. Mozart's Sister is the story of Mozart's older sister, who's trying to carve out her own reputation in the pre-revolution French court. And, of course, The Skin I Live In, Pedro Almodovar's latest film starring Antonio Banderas. He plays a brilliant surgeon with a troubling past who's trying to develop a synthetic skin for his patients, but he's using some unorthodox ways to make the skin. Gotta love everything Almodovar does. Certainly one for his fans. Now, let's move over to home DVD. Some pretty good stocking stuffers out this week. Hangover 2, Mr. Popper's Penguins, Cowboys and Aliens. They should all do very well. My picks would be The Help, the story of a young woman in Jackson, Mississippi in the middle of the civil rights era. She scandalously gets some of the black maids in town to open up about what it's like to work for white southern households. And The Debt, a great Cold War thriller, the story about 3 retired Israeli operatives who are hiding a pretty big secret about the undercover op that made them legends. Really solid dramas here. My pick of the week. Now quickly, let's move over to local theater. The new ones are over at Music Theater of Idaho. They've got a new musical version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, the holiday classic filled with music and dance, and of course all the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. 2 weekends only though, so it's at the Nampa Civic Center. Tickets and information at 468-2385 or at mtionline.org. Now don't confuse that musical in Nampa with Stagecoach Theater's A Dickens Christmas Carol, which is a fast-paced farce. This is the closing weekend, and this one looks at a troupe of actors who are trying to put on a Christmas Carol, and of course everything goes wrong. So a fun holiday farce over at Stagecoach Theater. Tickets and information 342-2000 or at stagecoachtheater.com. More Christmas Fair, the best Christmas pageant ever, over at Malcolm Dead Theater. This is the story of an oddball family putting on a Christmas pageant, putting their own strange twist on things. Another holiday comedy at Malcolm Dead Theater runs through the 17th, 385-0021 or kedproductions.org. Don't forget about A Candle in the Window over at Boise Little Theater. It's the story of some people who are stuck at a train station over the holidays, and thanks to some nearby children who've been rehearsing a Christmas pageant, they all rediscover the spirit of Christmas. Call 342-5104 or boiselittletheater.org for tickets and information. Our friends over at Prairie Dog Theater have another holiday farce, Scrooge, Older But Miser. That's going on at Prairie Dog Theater. Tickets and info at pdplayhouse.com or 336-PETE. And finally, over at Boise Contemporary Theater, we have A Permanent Image, which is from Obie Award-winning playwright and Idaho native Samuel D. Hunter. It's a story of two grown children who come home for the holidays because their father has died. They can learn a whole lot of painful family secrets before the holidays are over. So that's A Permanent Image, which I saw this past weekend at Boise Contemporary Theatre. Very good play. bctheatre.org or 331-9224.
Sounds great. Thank you much, Sean, and we'll see you next week. Stick around. More ETV coming up right after this.